Hey everyone, so today the team at FAFO 408 sent us this Razer Rambler. So we're going to go ahead and unbox it, and basically they asked us to make some upgrades for them. So that's what we're going to do. This is a Razer Rambler 12. There's a 16 and a 20, which is the size of the wheel. This one I think is going to be equivalent to the Razer Pocket Mod with kind of a similar setup. Aside from you just don't have the plastic and the seat with the compartment, and the battery will be down here instead of under the seat. But it looks like this actually has more space I'm comparing it to the Pocket Mode. This one has more space to add a larger battery because you're gonna be sitting above everything, and then maybe put a bigger motor. The rear brake, I believe it's a band brake in here. It could be a drum brake, but if I'm not mistaken, it's a band brake. Anyways, we're going to take that out and see if we could convert this to disc brake. And then along with all that, it has a standard 250 watt motor. So this motor is going to be pretty standard for any 24 volt Razer. So as far as that goes, if it's 24 volt, you could go up to 36 volt without changing that motor with upgraded controller. And then I'll have to check the throttle here. But usually the throttle, some throttles are just going to be on and off, and some will be variable. So this one just says twist grip throttle, so I'm thinking it might just be an on and off throttle. If it is, then we'll look into replacing the throttle also. But aside from that, I see that it says hand operated rear caliper brake. I guess according to Razer, they consider this a caliper, but most people would just call it a drum brake. Anyways, aside from that, it has the 12-inch wheels. So we're basically going to see if we could fit a bigger battery in here, or at least a better battery to last longer, a little bit more speed. And then we'll check the brake, some other stuff, probably the throttle, maybe the motor. We'll see about that. But yeah, let's pop this open and take a look. Okay, so this has the tabs, but it's also glued, so we'll have to tear that glue off. Let's see what we got in here. First thing, protective cardboard. Foam. We got the bike there. Handlebar not attached. Pegs are on here. I don't know if you can see. Okay, yeah. See, it has a pretty nice cushion. Some foam. It's not memory foam, but I think it's I forgot the name of that. But the foam's about 1 inch tall, or 1.5 inches, and then looks like the wheels are all attached. So basically, we're just gonna have to take this out, attach the steering wheel, check the air, and we should be good to go. Minus making sure the battery is charged. So we'll pop it out, set it up. And then we'll actually do a test run. We'll run it with the stock battery just to see how it performs. Maybe we'll do a speed test. We'll just do a ride-on test, get our impression of it, and then from there we'll start upgrading it and seeing how it does compared to when it was stock. Okay, so we have the Rambler out of the box. One thing to note with this is that this is on the kickstand right now, and it sits fairly straight on the kickstand. So I think if you were to, even though you can fit pretty big tires in here, just because this front fork area has a lot of space, as far, and the sides also, But keep in mind, if you are gonna put bigger tires, it will likely raise the ride height. In that case, actually no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, because if it raises it, then it'll lean more. So you're good. Just don't lower it, because then that will cause the bike to maybe stand straight or tip over. And then let's see here. There's a cap here. I don't know if they have anything hidden in here. Probably not. But I know some of the older Razors, they would give you a valve for the tire, such as on the Razor Chopper. But I don't think this one has that, just because the wheels don't have clearance issues. So there's the steering wheel, or the handlebar, I guess you'd call that. And then you get the bag with the charger and the bar clamp. So we'll go ahead and open this bag up. We'll stick the charger on there, charge it up. This is lead acid, so most likely it's going to have a low charge from the factory. And then these bar clamps, usually nothing fancy. They do pretty basic bar clamp. And then it also actually comes with Allen too, so you're not going to need any tools to assemble this, because it comes with the tools that you need. But you will need maybe a tire pump, assuming usually it's not going to be full air in there. So make sure you get a tire pump for that. But we'll go ahead and plug this in, and then we'll see how long it takes to charge. But with these Razors, or I guess with any battery powered ride-on toy, the voltage is going to affect your speed, your top speed in the end. And for these lead acid, 12 volt is going to be the max. So to get the most speed out of it, you're going to want a full charge. After that, it'll start discharging a little bit, and then you'll have less voltage. And with that, it's going to feel slower. It's not going to take off as fast. So to get the most power out of these, you're going to want a full charge. One of the benefits with going lithium, which we will probably do after, is even though it's going to be 12 volt nominal, or sorry, my mistake. I'm talking about 24 volts. This is 24 volts. So full charge at 24 volt, but we're going to run a 36 volt. But anyways, if we were to run a similar voltage lithium battery, it actually charges slightly higher than 24 when it's fully charged, and then it holds voltage a lot better in a lithium pack compared to lead acid, even if it was the same capacity there. But we won't get too much into detail with that. So here's your bar clamp. It looks just like exhaust clamps for cars that you find like at an auto store. So I think it's the exhaust like hanging clamps, not actually to mate the exhaust together. But I got the cable on the wrong end here, so flip the bar like that, and then we'll put the clamps on. And we're just going to use the included Allen wrench just to get that full experience of just everyone, or the average person installing or setting up the Razor here. So, and these handlebars have I guess a marking on there to grip the bar clamp here. So we're gonna align it with that mark. And then you don't want to fully tighten that first bolt, just so you could get it to move around still to align the second one. And then same, it gives us space. So yeah, like I over tightened this, so I got to back it up a little bit in order to get that other bar clamp under there. You don't have to take it all the way out, but just enough to lift this up, and I can get that down. And then for now, I'm just kind of moving the handlebar back and forth to get it out of the way so I could tighten it. But when I do the final torque or tightening of it, I will position it in comfortable riding angle. So okay, so at one point I was a bicycle mechanic, and the rule of thumb for setting up the handlebar is you would look at the floor or back up, and then you can see the floor. You want the handlebar at least vertical with the floor. If not, maybe a little bit more forward depending on how tall you are. But the baseline would be vertical with the floor. So we'll just start with that and then adjust accordingly. But so far, my first impressions, I feel like this might be smaller than the Pocket Mod, but maybe that's just because it doesn't have plastics on it, and also because the frame here has that top bar, so it seems a little more cramped. But we'll check it. I have a Pocket Mod here. I don't know if I'm gonna pull it out, but then I'll go ahead and measure the wheelbase at least, and then compare the wheelbase with this one, and then maybe we'll check the height and everything too. And I just want to make sure I tighten it evenly, so then you can see, usually there's going to be a gap between the top and bottom bar clamp, and you ideally want that gap to be even in the front and back, so that gives you the most even clamping. And there we go. And I got the charger plugged in. It's the charger has a red light on it right now, so that means that it's actually charging. When it turns green, that means it'll be done. And then I'll go ahead and do the air pressure for the tires, and after that we'll just wait until it's fully charged. And let me check the brakes here. Actually, the brakes they look like they come already positioned or adjusted correctly. And then the throttle here, without it turning on, this does feel like an on and off throttle, so the throttle will probably need to get upgraded when we do a battery and controller. And then the steering is a little on the snug side, the clamp here, but I think it is new, so we'll see. We'll ride it a little bit, see if it loosens up. If it doesn't, then we'll have to get in there and back up the headset a little bit to loosen that up, just so it lasts longer and rides more correct, rather than right now it binds a little bit, so then it'll kind of not straighten out when you ease off on the steering, which will cause it to ride really weird. But anyways, we'll wait for the battery charge and then do everything else, and then go for a ride. All right, we're out here with the Razer Rambler 12, fully charged, air in the tires. Aside from that, nothing really done to it. We left the brakes as is. They look to be fine, straight out of the box. And then aside from that, we just installed the bars. But let's go ahead and give it a quick test ride and see how it is. Okay, I think we're recording audio on my iPhone, and we are doing video on our Insta360 Go 3S. But here is the first test ride. Bike is powered on right now. I'm gonna go and get into the Speedo app here. Where's my speedometer app? We got my speedometer app, and this is a fresh page, so let's go ahead and start going. So yeah, this is the on and off throttle, so it's a little tricky. I'm not on brakes right now. I'm just gonna let it naturally brake. So as soon as I let off, I feel a little bit of drag brake. But what I really wanted to test is this structure here. I'm gonna see how well it does climbing, but let's do a little top speed run in the back right here. So this is full out. I'm about 150 pounds. So I get 12 miles an hour. All right, not bad. Let me grab the brakes there. As far as the ride goes, it's not bad. Like with the small wheel, no full rigid frame, no suspension at all. At least on this road, it's pretty smooth. But yeah, the steering is not. Just like I said, it kind of once it center, or like not really center on its own. But let's go up this incline here. We start at 7. All right, really bogging down now. Okay, my camera briefly cut out. I think we're recording again, but I couldn't even make it up the first hump. It actually cut out on me, or it didn't cut out, but it bogged down and just stopped going. So can't make it up that. And then of course this freewheel on the back, it free spins when you're not throttling, to kind of give you the best efficiency, but it is a little annoying because you do hear it rev up before it bites that freewheel. Aside from that, the seat's kind of firm. Like, I don't like the seat. The foam will hurt over time. Yeah, there's not much else to say about this right now. It's aside from the fact that, let's see, we topped out at 12.6, and the throttle's off and on throttle. It went over that. The brakes feel okay. They do kind of jitter a little bit when you're braking, but that's kind of a given for this cheap brake. So we really want to see if we can fit a caliper bracket on there, and I'm pretty sure this wheel is going to be like the pocket mod where you could remove the brake drum on there. Aside from that, we'll take it back to the shop, and then we'll go ahead and try to throw a new battery in, see how that does after that. But there's the quick test run of the 24 volt